Imagine that you own a successful e-commerce website that makes over thousands of dollars worth of sales every single day. And of course, you'd want this website to be running as smoothly as possible with zero downtime. And then imagine you go on holiday for a few days, and you notice that your website has stopped making sales. Eventually, you find out that your website has gone offline. There's no way to find out when it went offline or how long it's been offline for unless you use an uptime monitoring service. Hi, I'm Yaz and this is Brainstorm Force. We create educational content about everything WordPress. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe down below and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future uploads. And in this video, I'm going to be teaching you about uptime monitoring and how to set up an uptime monitoring for your website for absolutely free using Uptime Robot. I will also be showing you some of the additional features on Uptime Robot, and make sure you watch till the end of the video to find out which 2 uptime monitoring services I recommend in 2021. And if you guys would like to jump to any specific section of this video, you can do so by clicking on the progress bar below. So now, if you guys are ready, let's get into it. So what is uptime monitoring? Uptime monitoring is a type of service where it actively checks your website to make sure it's online. If it picks up that your website is down, it'll go ahead and alert you as soon as possible so you can take the appropriate actions to make sure your website's back online. To put it simply, imagine that your website has a babysitter who is constantly looking after it that will alert you immediately as soon as something goes wrong. It's very important to be aware as soon as your website goes down. Just like the example at the start of the video, an offline website has the potential to lose you sales as well as leave your clients a little bit dissatisfied if you manage their website for them. It's very simple to set up an uptime monitoring service in 2021 because we're spoiled for choice when choosing one of these services. In this video, we'll be covering Uptime Robot, and Uptime Robot is one of the most popular uptime monitoring services out there. With its free and paid plans, it packs all these amazing features that would suit any user. To start off, let's navigate to the Uptime Robot website. It's a very clean and modern website. And right at the top, it tells you that it's the world's leading uptime monitoring service, a really bold claim to make. And here's a button that says start monitoring in 30 seconds. It is as easy as that, guys, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And scrolling down, you can see that Uptime Robot is the uptime monitoring service for big companies like GoDaddy, NASA, and IBM, to name a few. Some really big names there. Scrolling down even further, you can see some of the services they offer. So you've got website monitoring, SSL certificate monitoring, port and ping monitoring, as well as heartbeat monitoring. The service we're interested in at the moment is website monitoring, which is where it will be actively monitoring your website to check for any downtime. And we'll be covering the rest of these monitors a little bit later in the video. Right now, we just want to focus on website monitoring. And we can set it up completely free using the free plan on Uptime Robot. So we're going to take a look at that free plan right now. And on the pricing page, you can see both the free and paid plans. And as you can see here, the free plan is very generous with 50 monitors available. This means that you can set up 50 different monitors for 50 different web pages if you wanted to. But for most users, you probably would not even make full use of all 50 monitors. And it has 5-minute checks. This is referring to the monitoring interval. A monitoring interval is how frequently Uptime Robot will go ahead and check your website to see if it's active. The more frequent it is, the better, because the sooner it detects an issue on your website, the sooner it can alert you, meaning the sooner you can work on fixing it. So with the free plan, you only get a 5-minute monitoring interval, which is decent, but ideally you'd want something in the range of 1-minute checks. But anyway, looking down, with the free plan as well, you only get email notifications, which is good, but ideally you want to have some more options with some SMS and voice call alerts as well. And looking down the options, you do have a lot more features. But first, we're going to work on just setting up our first monitor, and then I'll cover the features later in this video. Okay, now let's go ahead and register and begin setting up your Uptime monitor. To do so, we can go ahead and click this gray button under the free plan, register for free, emphasis on the free. Click that, and it will take you to the registration page, as you can see here. You can go ahead and fill in your full name, email, as well as your password, unless, of course, you're Elon Musk, because your details are already filled in. But Elon, I'm just a little bit concerned about your password. It seems a little bit too short for my liking. Anyway, guys, once you've finished filling in the information, you can click that green button and register now. And I already have an account registered, so instead I'm going to go ahead and log in. Once you're logged in, welcome to Uptime Robot's dashboard. And as you can see, this is where it shows you all the metrics, data, and information regarding the monitors you've set up for your website. And mine would be a little bit different to yours because I've got a few monitors already set up. yours at the moment would be empty because we have not set up a monitor yet. Let's change that, shall we? So before I talk you through all the features here, we're going to add a monitor. To do so, we're going to go to the green button at the top, add new monitor. And when you click that, you can see a pop-up come up on your screen. And first thing you want to do is fill in the box here, the monitor type. Click it for the drop-down options. And it shows you all the different monitors possible, as you remember from earlier in the video. But the one we're interested in is HTTPS. So you can go ahead and click that. And it will drop down more options, more boxes below. And the friendly name box is essentially like a reference name you can set for this monitor. You can give it any name you like. It's purely for your internal reference, but something that will help you remember what website or monitor it's referring to. So you can go ahead and name it. I'm just going to call it Demo 3 for this example. And then the next box is the URL or IP. So this is where you enter the URL for your website. So I'm just going to leave this blank because I've got a few set up, but you can enter whatever you like, your website that you want to monitor. And lastly is the monitoring interval. Remember we mentioned that the monitoring interval is how frequently Uptime Robot will check to see if there's any issues with your website. And the more frequent the monitoring interval, the better. And at the moment with the free plan, you can see you can adjust it to up to 24 hours worth of monitoring interval, which is insane, but also down to a minimum of 5 minutes. 5 minutes is decent again, but ideally you want to have 1 minute or so, which will be more frequent. But we'll leave it at that. And once you're ready, go onto the side here. And this is where you select what contact you want to alert when an issue pops up. And at the moment, you can see that my email address is already brought in because that's the one you use to register. And if that's the one you want to alert, you can go ahead and press the check button here. Alternatively, if you want to add any more contacts that you want to send the email alert to, you can do so by going to the My Settings page. At the moment, I'm happy with just sending the email alert to my own email. So I'm going to go ahead and press that check button there and press the blue button here to create your monitor. Congratulations, guys. You've set up your first Uptime monitor. And it's as easy as that. It only took us a few minutes to set up. Uptime Robot might take a few minutes to actually start monitoring that website. So your monitor here might be empty at the moment, but in a little while, it should start importing all that details and start checking your website. Now that you've added your first monitor, you might notice a few changes onto your dashboard. Now you'll start seeing the different statistics for all your monitors over here. So as you can see under quick stats, it shows you how many monitors are currently up, how many monitors are currently down, and if you have any paused monitors as well. What I think is a really cool feature is the overall percentage of uptime for all your monitors across the last day, across the last week, as well as the last month. So as you can see here, it's 50, 51, 51%. It also records the latest downtime as well as how long that monitor was down for. It's all really cool, and it gives you the latest events summarized down below. Okay, now I'm going to show you what a monitor looks like when everything is going well. So demo 1 that I've set here is for a website that's currently live. And as you can see, it's really healthy. Over the last 24 hours, it's all green. There hasn't been any downtime. And you can see the current status is set up. And below you can see the response time curve for the last 24 hours, which shows you how quickly your website responds when Uptime Robot checks to see if it's active. And as you can see, my website is pretty healthy. And although it does have some fluctuations with the response time, it has no downtime recorded over the last 24 hours. And again, it has the same summary with the percentages on the right-hand side and no downtime recorded for as long as I've had the monitor set up. And that's an example of how it looks like when everything goes well, nothing to worry about. But alternatively, this demo 2 over here I've set up is for a website that doesn't exist. So obviously it's going to record it as being down. And as you can see here, over the last 24 hours, it's all red and the current status is set to down. And the percentages are pretty bad as well. It's only been up for 2.4% of the time the monitor has been active, which is not great. And what I really like about this is it shows you down here in the latest events. The current status, it went down, and it shows you the date it went down with the time according to your time period set in the settings. And the reason for why it went down, and this time it's the connection timeout. And it also shows you the whole total duration that this monitor has been down for. What's amazing is that this page alone shows you all the information you need about how your website's been offline, all the information, so when it went offline, what the reason was, as well as the duration. Everything you need in one place. That's what's great about Uptime Robot. And next, I'm going to show you one of the most important features, which is how it alerts you when it detects an issue. As soon as the website went down, I received this email, and in the title alone, it says monitor is down, and it tells you what monitor name it was. This is the same name you enter under the friendly name, so make sure you enter something that'll help you remember what the monitor is. And right now it says blog post demo. This is what I called demo 2 before I renamed it to demo 2. So by just looking at this alone on the name, I know which monitor it's talking about. And it says, hi, the monitor blog post demo, shows you the URL, and the status is currently down. And it tells you the reason as well, connection timeout. The event timestamp, so the time and date of when the action occurred, when the website went down. And Uptime Robot tells you that it will alert you as soon as the website goes back online. Again, all the information you need in one simple email. And that's it. That's how you set up an uptime monitor for your website. How simple was that? So now I'm going to actually go through some of the other features offered on Uptime Robot, as well as the Pro plan and some of the Pro features. And coming back to the rest of the features on the free plan, you can see that the one we just covered was the HTTPS monitoring. And over here down below, you can see all the other different types of monitors available. And if I take you back to the dashboard and click on the Create New Monitor button, and clicking on this drop-down menu, you can see all the other different monitors available. Starting with keyword monitoring, this is where you can specify a specific keyword to track on a website. Uptime Robot will alert you as soon as it detects the keyword or detects that it's not there. And the next monitor on the list is ping monitoring. Ping is the amount of time it takes for data to go from your computer to the server and then back again. And Uptime Robot will go ahead and monitor the ping and notify you if there's any irregularities. A port is a number that's used between two computers when communicating between each other. They use ports to determine where the communication will go, what process or application it's going to be used by. A simple way to put this is if the network address is an apartment complex, then the port is going to be the unit number or apartment number. It's as simple as that. So Uptime Robot will monitor a port you specify and check to see if it's functioning properly. The last one on the list is the heartbeat monitor. It monitors how well the website performs in terms of its regular actions, and if there's any irregularities that it notices, it's going to go ahead and notify you. Another monitor that's not available in that specific menu is the SSL certification monitoring, and you can see that in the Pro plan here. An SSL certificate is a digital certificate that certifies that any data that passes between the user and the website is private and secure. This is especially important for any website that handles sensitive information like identity information as well as credit card details, stuff like that. So it's really important to have an SSL certificate that's up to date and not expired for your website. So what Uptime Robot does is it reminds you within a specific time period, whether it's 30 days, 14 days, or 7 days, to renew your SSL certificate before it expires. It's a really cool feature and it's available under the Pro plan. And another feature that you have in the Pro plan is the status page. A status page is a beautifully designed page that summarizes all your uptime monitoring data. And I'm actually going to go ahead and show you how to set one up for yourself. Again, it's available under the free plan. So once you're in the dashboard as so, at the top you can see a dashboard button, and right beside there's a status pages button. You can click that and you'll arrive onto a page like this where it says in a green button, add status page. We're going to go ahead and click that. And a little menu pops up right here where you can enter the information for your status page. Again, it will ask you to enter a friendly name. This is again for internal purposes, just a reference name that'll help you identify what it's talking about. We're going to call this a demo page. And what's really cool is you can upload the logo for your company or client. If so, you can do that here. And you can also set a custom domain if you'd like to. We're just going to leave it as the default domain here. And another feature it offers is to keep your status page password protected. So you can go ahead and enter a password here. And for this video, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to enter a password. And you can see here under the Pro plan, you can also hide the Uptime Robot logo. So after that, we can click the blue button here, create public status page, go ahead. Now that your status page is added to this list, we can now go ahead and start configuring it. So the first tab here under monitors, this is where we add the monitors we want to that status page. So you might have some monitors for specific clients and some monitors for others. So you can pick and choose which ones you want to be presented on that specific status page. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and add demo 1 and demo 2 both. Make sure you hit save, otherwise it doesn't keep those changes. I learned that the hard way, and we're done with that page here. Now we can go to the Appearance tab. And this is a feature I really like about Uptime Robot. It lets you fully customize the appearance and visuals of your status page. So you got layout, theme, and density. I'm just going to do a little bit of a mix of all three. So you can do combinations as you see fit. So I'm going to go with layout 1, but I'm going to choose the dark theme, but also keep a normal density level. I think that'll look quite good. So you can set it to whatever you like, and scrolling down, again, you can upload the logo for whatever branding you have, as well as a favicon, which is the icon you see up in the tab of your browser. And this is actually really amazing. On a pro plan, you can change the whole color scheme of your status page. So you can incorporate all your branding colors into that status page, as well as remove the Uptime Robot logo. So then it looks like a dedicated status page for your own branding. There's a whole lot of other features that are available under the Pro plan, as well as the fonts as well used on the page. They're all really cool, and I'm really impressed with the level of customization available in Uptime Robot. Now scrolling down, hit the green save button once again. And next we want to look at the global settings tab. This is essentially the same kind of menu, same kind of boxes you had when you first set up the status page. But what's important to keep note of is that the URL here is where you can access your status page from. This is what you'll share to your client. And we won't change anything here. We're going to go ahead to the announcements tab. Here you can see that there's a checkbox for enable subscribe feature. Again, this is a pro feature, but it's a really cool feature that allows you to notify users or clients of any sort of updates on that status page, whether it be uptime issues or plan maintenance. So you can go ahead and click that button if you're on the pro plan. And what it does is it sends an email to whoever subscribed, and the email looks like this. And as you can see, it looks very professional, and it alerts whoever subscribed to whatever is going on. It's really cool, and it's a nice professional looking feature. All right, so I think that's it for our status page. So now we can view it by either clicking on this little eyeball here, or you can go to the global settings and click on the URL. So once you click that, it'll bring up your status page. And again, we set it up with password protection, so it's going to ask for the password. I'm going to enter that here. Login successful. And voila, here's your beautiful status page showing you all the information you need about the monitors you selected. As you can see here, it shows you right at the top, some monitors are down. And you can see here, demo 1 is performing well, and it shows you a visual representation of the uptime metrics. And it just looks really clean, really professional. And it tells you how often it's updated as well. This is everything you need to show to a client without having to show all the under the hood stuff like the menus and the different settings. Now that we know what a status page is, coming back to the free plan, you can see that the free plan only offers one status page. And alternatively, on the pro plan, you can see that it offers unlimited status pages. This is great if you're managing a whole range of different websites, or if you're working with a lot of different clients. The last two features that I haven't covered on the free plan is the mobile app availability on Uptime Robot. So Uptime Robot is available on both Android and iOS. So if you want to use it on your smartphone, then you're covered. And lastly, it's that Uptime Robot on the free plan does keep a 3-month worth of log retention. And that covers the free plan on Uptime Robot. And like I said, it's a very generous free plan. It has a lot of different features that would probably suit most users. And anyway, now moving on to the remaining features on the pro plan. Like I said, if you slide this slider across, you can see that it changes the price as well as the number of monitors you get with that plan. It also increases the number of SMS and voice call alerts you get. You are limited to how many you get with your pro plan, but the more you pay, the more you get. I think you can also buy additional later on as well. And it has all the features as the regular free plan, but on top of that, you also get SSL certification expiry monitoring, like we mentioned before, as well as background job monitoring. This is essentially heartbeat monitoring, what we talked about before. And what it doesn't really mention here is also the number of integrations it has with the different apps. Apart from just being able to be alerted on email, SMS text, and voice call, you can also integrate Uptime Robot with all these different apps you see here. So you have Slack, Twitter, Telegram, Teams, to name a few. And if your team uses this, I really think it would be helpful to integrate Uptime Robot with whatever service you're using. That way you can get the alerts sent straight into the platform you use so that you and your team can act as fast as possible. Next one on the list of features is the advanced notification options. This is a really cool feature that I like. This is where Uptime Robot sends you repeated notifications. So for example, it would send you the initial alert indicating that your website is down, and after a specific period of time that you specified, it will go ahead and alert you again so that you know that website is still down. And it can keep doing so and send you more notifications within a specific interval until your website is back online. I think this is really cool because it keeps reminding you, hey, your website is still down, it's still not back up, you need to do something about it. In case for whatever reason you forget or it slips your mind or you miss that initial email, you'll still get a follow-up indicating that there's still an issue with your website. I think that's a really important feature. And we've covered the unlimited status pages as well. And next up is the status page subscription. You saw when we set up the status page that it had the option to subscribe users to updates from the status page, such as any issues with the uptime, any other issues related to any monitors you've set up, as well as planned maintenance. So that's a really cool feature. Next up is the white label status pages, and this is referring to that little option we saw to remove the Uptime Robot branding on the status page. It would just make your status page look a lot more professional when you're dealing with clients and working with a specific brand. And the next one there is a little bit weird in my opinion, just because it's talking about the password protection for the status page. And as you know, when we set up our status page, we've actually set up the password protection as well. But over here, it's saying that it's part of the Pro plan, whereas we use it on the free plan. Let's just keep that between us because we're using a Pro feature for free. So let's not complain, shall we? Next up is the maintenance window. Okay, this one's a really cool feature because what you can do is when your website has any sort of planned maintenance, on the free plan, Uptime Robot will still continue monitoring that site. And if there's any issues, it can notify you during the maintenance period, which would be unnecessary. But with this, you can actually turn off monitors so that it doesn't keep monitoring while you're doing any planned maintenance. So that's really cool. The next feature is the custom HTTP headers and status. Normally, Uptime Robot would send a default HTTP header when you're communicating with the website, but now you can send custom requests for those cases that require a specialized kind of communication. You can also specify custom status codes on your Uptime Robot so that you can have full control of when you would consider your website to be online or offline. And the second last feature that we haven't talked about yet is the importing monitors in bulk. I'll actually show it to you. Going to the dashboard, and you can see that there's a few options here to export, import, and expand monitor names. So this is where you can export all your monitors as a CSV file, as you can see here down below. And you can also import them where you can select and upload a CSV file. It even shows you how you should set up your file when uploading, and that can go in and import all that data in for you. So what it's saying here is that you can import monitors in bulk, which is a Pro feature. And last but not least is the log retention under the Pro plan. Unlike the free plan, which only had a 3-month log retention, with the Pro plan, we can have up to 24 months worth of log retention. And that concludes everything we've got to cover about Uptime Robot. As you can see, it was really easy to set up, and I'm confident that with the help of this video, even your grandparents would be able to set up an Uptime monitor for their website. And like I've promised, this is the end of the video. So I'm going to be telling you the 2 Uptime monitoring services that I recommend in 2021. Obviously, our first recommendation is Uptime Robot, the one we've covered in this video. It just does everything really well. It's incredibly reliable. It has all these amazing features, and we haven't had any experience with any false positives. By false positives, I'm talking about false alerts indicating that our website is down when in fact it's not. This could put you into panic mode for no reason when in fact the website is online. So none of that with Uptime Robot. We haven't had any experience like that. And we also love the different integrations possible, the different notification methods, such as Slack, which is what we use internally. So all of these features combined just makes Uptime Robot the choice for us when in terms of uptime monitoring. And now moving on to my second recommendation, we have FreshPing. FreshPing is made by Freshworks. And as you can see here, it's very clean and really reliable uptime monitoring service as well. And just like Uptime Robot, it does have a free plan you can get, as well as 2 paid plans. And just like the free version on Uptime Robot, you get 15 monitors. But what's really cool about FreshPing is that in the free plan, you get a 1-minute monitoring interval. This is a Pro feature on Uptime Robot, and you also get some other Pro features from Uptime Robot, like more status pages. You get 5 status pages on FreshPing under the free plan, as opposed to the 1 on Uptime Robot. And you also get a bunch of different integrations for free on FreshPing. Although the options aren't nearly as diverse as on Uptime Robot, it's still nice to get these features for free on FreshPing. So you have Zapier, Slack, Twilio, Webhook, to name a few. So if you're using any of these, the free plan on FreshPing could be the one for you. And as you can see, there's some more features as well. And upgrading it to the Blossom package for $11, you get 60 monitors. And upgrading it to the Garden plan for $36, you get 80 monitors. So all of these have more features, obviously, as you can see here. And what's interesting is that SSL monitoring, which is a Pro plan that you can get for as cheap as $7 a month, is only possible with a $36 plan on FreshPing. So you really got to pick and choose which of these uptime monitoring services is right for you, which one suits your budget, and which one has the services you need within the plan that you're after. And that is it for today's video. I hope I was able to teach you something about uptime monitoring and hopefully show you how easy it is to set up an uptime monitoring service for yourself. If you got value from this video, please help us out by giving us a like, subscribe down below, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future content. Thanks so much for watching, guys. This is Yaz from Brainstorm Force, and I'll see you in the next one.